Hello and good morning. My name is Christopher, an amateur weather observer, and welcome to another episode of my daily backyard weather observation here in our neighborhood, Lorne Park, Lakeshore, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. It's Monday, July 1st, 2024. Happy Canada Day for all those who are Canadians who are watching the video. It's 8:30 in the morning, clear skies, beautiful clear skies at 0 octa, temperature 15.7 degrees Celsius. The air quality reading is very low. It's at 1.0 microgram per cubic meter for fine particulate matter at 2.5 microns. The pressure is rising at 1024.5 millibars. Precipitation wise, let's check the rain gauge. So we had a very brief shower yesterday afternoon, and as you can see here, it's not quite at 0.2, but it's more a trace of precipitation. So we will be entering this trace of rain in the CoCoRaHS.org website under station ID CANWARN 646. Okay, let's empty out the rain gauge. So today is July 1st. Not only it's a public holiday in Canada, because it's Canada Day, but from a weather history perspective, July 1st is actually an important day for those who are weather historians. In 1961, July 1st, that's a time when the climatological start and end time has been redefined in Canada. You're probably wondering, why do I care about climatological day? Well, a climatological day defines the observation start and end time for that particular day, which means it defines at one point would you measure the weather parameters and also dictates the weather extremes for that climatological day. And in July 1st, the climatological day for principal stations in Canada have been redefined to end at 0600 UTC. So, a couple of items to remember. Most of the network, the weather station network in Canada, are ordinary stations. And those stations typically report once or twice a day at a fixed time. Typically, they'll report in the morning at 0700 local standard time, where they will then report the maximum temperature and precipitation for the past 24 hours. Similar to what I'm doing right now, every morning I submit my morning precipitation or precipitation occurred in the past 24 hours. And some ordinary stations will also report later in that day at 1700 local standard time. That will then report the minimum temperature. Um, about 1 in 10 stations in southern Canada are actually principal stations. Principal weather stations means they report on a much more frequent basis. Typically, they do synoptic observations in about every 3 or 6 hours or even hourly. Um, Principal weather stations are quite important for many reasons. They're typically important for commercial, aviation, or even for security purposes. And typically, principal weather stations are located at airports that provides those regular weather observations. Well, before 1961, before July 1st, 1961, 63 years ago, most ordinary and principal weather stations typically report at about the same time. However, starting July 1st, 1961, that changed where principal stations now end the observations at 0600 UTC. And papers have been written about it in terms of impact of changing the time. And if you're curious, to read that research paper, I will post the link into the YouTube description below so you can read all about it and learn more about the change that happened 63 years ago. Well, now you know, friends. So when you look at, let's say, a climate table, or they're defining what is the high or low for yesterday, and that is defined by the climatological day that was redefined 63 years ago on this day, July 1st. Now you know. Well, friends, wherever you are and whatever type of weather you're having today, just enjoy it and always remember that the sun is always there and the cloud shall eventually pass. Happy Canada Day. See you again tomorrow. Take care.